Hey everyone, COE33 here with my sister Leaf.
Hey guys!
And we're here with our top 10 horror games in our collection. That's right. So we definitely enjoy playing a good horror game, and we have a bunch of them. We were going through our collection today, realizing that it was hard just to pick 10. And I know it's one of my favorite genres. I've been playing it since way back in the day on the PC, and then the NES and Sega Genesis and all that. And we look forward to sharing these top 10 horror games with you, don't we?
Yeah, especially around this time of the year.
That's right. All right, let's do it. Starting at number 10 is an awesome game that came out in 2016, and that's Doom for the PC, and this is the Steelbook from the Collector's Edition. And I love the Doom franchise. I think I've played them all. I was starting with the first one back in the day on the PC, and I love it, and I loved playing this one. Visceral combat, really good graphics, and I'm really stoked with the direction they're taking this franchise in, and look forward to playing wherever this goes next. With I'm sure there's another one in the works, probably, huh?
I wouldn't mind playing this game, even though this guy is creeping.
Creeping you out? Moving on to number 9 is a game for the original Xbox, and it's a survival horror game called The Suffering, which I really enjoyed. We picked this up about a year or so ago, and I played it right after we picked it up, and I was impressed. The creature effects are by Stan Winston, which is amazing. The same guy that did a lot of the famous Hollywood creature effects. And you have to escape from a maximum security prison, and there's a lot of really intense action and lots of scary monsters. And just a great time all the way around. And there's another one that we actually own, The Suffering 2, Ties That Bind. And I wouldn't mind playing that and checking that out as well.
Especially on this creepy holiday we're having.
That's right. Number 8 is for the Xbox 360, and this is a game that my brother and I played together, and it's The Evil Within. And boy, this is a weird game. The story is pretty crazy on this one, but it's fun. It's definitely a throwback to like Resident Evil and those style survival horror games, but with a modern twist, and good graphics, good gameplay.
Wow.
Hard.
Sounds awfully creepy.
It's creepy, but it was really hard, and it was actually a real challenge to get through that last section of the game. And there's a new one coming out shortly, which I'm definitely looking forward to playing, and I can't wait to pick that up. Number 7 is from one of my favorite franchises of all time, and actually one of our favorite franchises. You like the Resident Evil games, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
We were just playing the original not too long ago on the PlayStation. And this is Resident Evil 4, the Wii edition. And the Wii edition is pretty cool because they have motion controls, which I know a lot of people don't like, but it works really well in this particular game because you use the Wiimote as your gun and you can aim with it. And I actually quite enjoyed that. I thought it was a lot of fun. And Resident Evil 4 was kind of an interesting time in the Resident Evil franchise. They went from the kind of classic tank controls and the classic Resident Evil games, and they evolved it to a little more action-oriented gameplay, but they kept a lot of the elements of the Resident Evil franchise intact, which I really appreciated.
2 thumbs up all the way.
Absolutely 2 thumbs up. One of the great games in the Resident Evil franchise, and definitely recommend it. Coming in at number 6 is one of Leaf and I's favorite games of all time, huh?
Oh, yeah, this is one of my favorites.
That's right. That's The Seventh Guest on the PC. And this is a classic point-and-click adventure. Think of like Myst with all the puzzle solving, except with a horror twist. It's like a haunted house kind of vibe to it. And you go around and you solve spooky puzzles. And last year for our Halloween special, Leaf and I played all the way through the game. I tell you, that took some doing.
Yeah, it was very hard.
That was a grind. But we did it, and we had a lot of fun. And better than that is about 2 hours from our home is the Noonan House, a.k.a. Henry Stoff's mansion. And the house that they used to model this house on the cover is actually here in Oregon. And we went to it. We had a nice meal. We went game hunting in the area and made an on the hunt video. We'll put a little link right here in the corner.
And we had some cucumber water. And
yeah, that's some cucumber water. That's right.
I love the cucumber water.
You always talk about that cucumber water.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun, and definitely a game we recommend. Coming in at number 5 on the list is one of the classic games of all time, and that's the original Doom. Now, this is the long box version for the PlayStation, which is pretty awesome, but this is not how I originally played the game. Back in the day, in probably the early 90s when it came out, on the PC, my best friend and I played this, and boy, did we put a lot of hours into it.
I don't think I've ever played
No,
this.
You haven't played the original Doom? Well,
No.
we should throw that in the old PlayStation and play it, because it's a great game. First-person shooter where you go around and there's these ghoulish monsters that you have to shoot with your shotgun
Ooh,
or
how
whatever
ghoulish
weapon you
are
have. They're very ghoulish. And they're spooktacular.
Ooh, they're spectacular all the way.
And when this game came out for the PC, it was pretty revolutionary because this was the first-person shooter that really got a lot of popularity. I mean, there was definitely Castle Wolfenstein before that, and that did well. But when Doom came out, that was pretty mind-blowing for a lot of people, and I definitely sunk a lot of hours into it and really enjoy one of my favorite games.
How many hours?
I don't know, too many to count. Coming in at number 4. Oh, I know you like this one, don't you?
I love this next one.
We just played this on the channel not too long ago for one of our Gamer Life vlogs.
Yeah.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Oh boy, classic. One of my favorites, one of your favorites. We played this.
I absolutely love the baby on this.
The Titanic Toddler.
Yeah.
That's right. We played this back in the day together, back when this was, first on the shelves, and we picked up a copy for the Sega Genesis, and we play it now. I mean, it's just one of our favorite games. It's a 2D kind of homage to old horror movies. Each level is kind of a different horror movie that they're doing a spoof on, basically. And you go around and you shoot the zombies and you save the neighbors, and it's just a great game.
And I think it's really, really awesome to play. So if you haven't played this,
check it out.
Check it out.
Absolutely great co-op game, and definitely worth playing. Coming in at number 3 is one of the all-time classic NES platformers, and that's the original Castlevania. Oh, I love this game. This is a great game. When I think of like classic NES games, I think of like Super Mario Brothers, Metroid, Contra, and Castlevania is definitely in that list. And we actually got this by mistake because we had ordered something and we were filming it. We got mail. You probably remember this.
Yeah.
And we were opening up the package, and what we had ordered was not in there, and instead it was a complete in box Castlevania, which was way cooler than what we ordered. So I contacted the seller, let him know what happened. I figured he'd want me to send this back, but
and I think surprises are always nice.
Definitely. And the seller said, no worries, if you want to keep that, go for it, not a problem. And I was like, yeah, we'll keep this instead, because as I said, this was a lot nicer than what we had ordered. And just really stoked to have that in the collection, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Number 2, and how appropriate the number 2 is. Diablo 2. In my opinion, one of the best games of all time. I love Diablo 2. Now, unfortunately, we don't have it complete in box. We just have that loose copy, because that's my original copy that I got back in the day, and I had put it in a binder or something like that. But great game, action RPG. You can sink so many hours into it. When this game came out, I was living with a roommate at the time, and we both loved this game, and we played it constantly. Our computer was always being used, because if I wasn't playing Diablo 2, he was playing Diablo 2.
Wow, cool.
And it's just good memories of playing that game. It's probably my favorite out of all the Diablo games. I love the first one, but Diablo 2 took it to the next level. Diablo 3 is a lot of fun, but doesn't quite capture the magic in my mind as Diablo 2.
We should get Diablo 3.
We have it.
Maybe Diablo 4.
I'm sure that's in the works. I hope so. And just an awesome game, and I'm sure a lot of you have already played it. And if you haven't, run out and actually, you could probably just get it on Steam, I'd imagine. And yeah, Diablo 2. Can't go wrong with that, huh?
No, you can't.
All right, it's that time for the number 1 top horror game in our collection.
Resident Evil 2.
That's right, the classic, the great Resident Evil 2, one of my favorite games of all time. I know you enjoy Resident Evil 2. And when I think of Resident Evil games, and I think of, like, what's the best Resident Evil game? This one is, it's hard to beat. Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil was amazing. I had so much fun going through that mansion and solving those puzzles and going on that journey. But the anticipation for Resident Evil 2, the hype for Resident Evil 2, and then when it finally released, it was so amazing that you could go around Raccoon City and you had all this amazing locations and these great puzzles to solve, and it was just a really great classic Resident Evil game, and it makes the number 1 spot on our list of top 10 horror games in our collection. Pretty awesome, huh?
Uh-huh. Cool.
That's right. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I thought what we would do now is throw in a few honorable mentions, because there are some games that we think are great horror games that we don't actually have in the collection. And I would say Silent Hill for the PlayStation definitely has to be on that list. We need to find a copy of that.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Yeah. And then the Splatterhouse games on the Sega Genesis. I would say the first three are all really good. I think two is probably my favorite. I can't remember if it's two or three. I always get them mixed up. But I love the Splatterhouse games, and those definitely would be a good honorable mention as well, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right, everyone. Well, we hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time.
And keep on creeping on.
That's right. Bye.